What's going on? What's going on? It is Trinidad and Tobago's son, New York City's nephew, Carter Y-O-U-N-G.
And I am my key, and one day I hope to have the keys to your heart. And welcome to another episode of
Banter and Bullshit.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right, yo. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to be inspired and maybe even challenged to move. Today's guest is a powerhouse in the world of physical therapy, fitness, and total body wellness. With a doctorate in physical therapy, years of experience helping people recover, rebuild, redefine their strength, and a passion for keeping his community active. He is not just changing lives, he is setting a pace for a movement. All right. As the owner of Phillips Physical Therapy, he's leading a concierge team dedicated to top tier rehab and performance training. And if you've heard of GUMI, Get Up and Move It, you know he's all about pushing people to take action and to stay active and level up their health. From the clinics to the streets, from research labs to the life transformation. This man is on a mission. Let's give it up for the one, the only Dr. Cutreal Phillips. Let's go. Look now, it's a lot to bring down. It's a lot to bring down.
Listen, I appreciate that. Thank you for having me.
No,
listen,
thank
after an introduction like that, man, I feel like I need to go do more with my life.
You're not the first person to say that. He's not the first person.
Who is this guy?
This guy is amazing. Whoever this guy is, that's the guy we want. Yo, Dr. Phillips, man, we appreciate you giving us some of your very, very valued time, man. We thank you for blessing this show with your presence.
I'm honored to be here, man. I couldn't wait. I really can't wait to be in this show. I see y'all having so much fun, man. I said, my life is too serious right now. Let me get in here and talk to and see what's happening.
Bullshit to it.
Yeah, might as well. Well, we know that your time.
We leveling up too.
Yeah, it's true that we have a doctor on the show.
I know.
We have a doctor.
Damn. Thank you, good
all right.
Doctor. Thank
you.
Thank you.
It's an honor.
Like, yeah, man, for real. Like it's funny, right? Because I want to jump right into this, right? Being that you're a doctor and you know you're a man of color on top of that, what sparked your passion for physical therapy? Like, how did you say, oh, this is where I want to be and this is where it's going to lead me in my life? What inspired that?
Oh man. It was all right. First of all, let me first say it was not this groundbreaking, eye-opening experience. It probably has been a boring path. You know how some people be like, oh, I was doing this for 20 years and then I decided one day I just had to have my thing, bro, I've been on this path since high school, man. And it just started with me working with veterans like yourself, man. I was volunteering at a local VA back in my small town called Dublin, Georgia. Wow. And just seeing these dudes come in with injuries and, you know, some of these guys had chronic things that they had, some traumatic, and just being around that and the people who serving our country, like how I could serve these guys to help them get better. And of course, eventually I got into seeing sports injuries and other stuff like that. But that volunteering and being around people who had already served me and my country just kind of gave me something to say, wow, I want to serve people like this and help them get their lives back, you know? So that's kind of where it started.
Man, wow. Appreciate you, man. I mean, on behalf of myself and my key, man, we appreciate you for appreciating us. Yeah, we thank you for your service. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Yeah, for real. That's dope. That's dope, man. I think right to be on this journey for as long as you have and to have committed yourself to that says a lot, because most people would start something like this and just say it's too hard, or it's not really what I want, or it's not as rewarding as I think it would be, and I should step away. So the fact that you stuck to that, I salute you for that, and I know MI feels the same way. That we appreciate it.
especially
Well,
doing
we
it from a
appreciate
Oh
young
it.
age. Because
yes.
I remember in high school, all I could think about was myself. The fact that you actually listen, it was all about me and only me. My world was centered around me. Literally, I walk out of the room, I think everybody stays completely still until I get back in. That's the way
Mhm.
my mind was working. So,
Really?
so the fact
No one moved at
no
all?
one moved, no one did
Really?
anything until I get back because
You
the
back in the
world was
room.
centered. Yeah, absolutely. So I
Wow.
came back in the room because the world was centered
Mm.
solely around me. That's how I used to think in high school. So the fact that you had
Oh, that's
the
true.
the the the, the empathy to really get out and say, you know what, I want to do what I can to change the world one person at a time. I commend that good doctor. So again,
Yeah.
thank you for your service.
Thank you, man. For real. Thank you.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you. That
Pleasure,
that's
man.
that's that's such a big deal. That's such a big deal. Like doing what you do now and knowing that you've worked with so many different patients and you've helped with different rehabs and situations. What would you say was the most rewarding thing or the most rewarding person you may have came across to see that development? Like, do you have something like that? Like
Oh,
one particular person?
the most rewarding was I was working with this lady who she injured her shoulder. She fell, she was changing a light bulb, injured her shoulder, broke her shoulder,
Mm.
and she couldn't pay me. But she paid me with some smothered pork chops, some
Mm,
macaroni and cheese.
mm.
Sound
They
like
was
She
smothered
paid him
with
with
gravy,
soul.
dog. So
That soul. Mm.
man,
Couldn't
listen,
describe it any better, bro.
when you ever met somebody that had that sign that says "We'll work for food"? That,
That was you.
that's me. Listen, honestly, man, it has never really been about money in my field. You know, there's PTs out there that's making a lot of money, but I really I get that gratification. I get that reward from letting just helping people get their life back, man. Like this was somebody, she was already taking care of her elderly mother, and
Mm.
I was like, let's work out something, you know. And it was a connection through a friend, and I found out that she can cook, man, and it was like boom. It was I said
Look,
this is a good
that's
connection.
amazing. First off, the fact that you chose, like you said, there are so many PTs where it would have been, well, I can't help you because you can't pay for it, you can't afford this, and you took the moral high ground and just the common decent person that you are to say, I'm doing this not for the money, but for the literal fact that I want to help people get better.
Yeah.
And you're actually living it and not just saying it. That says so much. So people, if you're out there and you might have hurt your shoulder, just make him like a ham hock or something. He'll hook you up. I'm just some mac and cheese or something. You in there? You in there? He got you. Dr. Phillips got you. You ever heard of a cheap date? Dr. Phillips is one.
Oh man, Dr. Phillips, I gotta ask. Look, you have a
Yeah.
sense of identity, a sense of really, you ooze manhood. So, who were
Mm.
your mentors early on that helped you get to where you are today? That helped
Oh
you
man.
develop and become the man you are today?
Mm.
Wow. So mentors, but this is a tough one. This one, this one's kind of tearing me up. So one of my mentors that has impacted me a lot in my life is my older brother. He passed away a couple of years ago,
Oh,
and
Rest in peace.
really growing up from when I can remember, I was trying to follow in this dude's footsteps. Like he used to go. He was running track in high school, and I remember him going out and training when I was a little kid. I must have been about 5 years old. He was already in high school, and just trying to follow him on a run, you know. And he was like sending me back to the house, and I really thought I could keep up with him, but he's going out running 6 miles. I'm 5 years old. I wouldn't have made it, but it was just every step. Like I play the bass guitar today because of him. You know,
Wow.
I dibble and dabble in writing music, you know, because of him. And just his outside of those things, it was his passion and love for people, caring for people. Like I feel like I kind of adopted that. Um, and many aspects of my life because I love to give, I love to help heal, I love to relate and help people. And he did that, man. And he was so passionate about serving in the military. He loved the military. He was in the military for 24 years. This is my brother Sean, man, and he was in the military for 24 years, serving in the U.S. Navy, and traveled all over the
Okay.
world, man. And he was that guy that he stepped into a room, and everybody felt his presence. He had joy. That was who he was. So he has been my mentor. Like that's like right out the gate, man. Great guy, but
That's
he passed
beautiful.
away back in 2023, and I never forget him, man.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful, man.
Yeah,
Sorry
rest
to
in
hear
peace,
tremendous
that,
man.
but
impact.
he
Thank
sounds
you
like
for
a wonderful
sharing.
guy, and we can see that
Yeah.
a lot of his influences in you, and you're a wonderful guy. So it makes all the sense now. We're getting a good background and understanding what makes you just that cool. I mean, and that's
I don't know about that
no,
cool, but
I don't know what you talking about,
I'm
man.
me,
You let
bro.
me tell you something.
Nah, bro, you got
I'm me.
cool written all over you, man.
Yeah, I mean, this
the
man, dude,
second your
he
screen
just
popped
he
up, like,
oozes cool.
wow,
Yeah,
exactly.
right. He made
Coming
me
out the
very
vein.
insecure.
Coming out
Yeah,
the
you
vein.
made me very insecure about what we're doing. I was like, oh man, we probably should not have gotten a doctor right now. We probably should have stuck to like a manager at Costco or something. I don't know who we
Oh
thought
no,
we were. I don't know. I don't know who we thought we were. What shenanigans we thought this was.
bro. Listen, I tell you, I've never been in the titles. I'll let you go ahead and ask your questions, but man, titles and status with the population that I work around today,
Yeah.
it 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 really means little to me. It's just more about serving. You know what I'm saying? Like when y'all have done it for the country, you know the value, the camaraderie, you know what you've given, you know.
Right.
And to me, it ain't really about the titles, man. We're here on this earth for a purpose, and that's how I see it, you know.
So let me tell you
That's
something.
beautiful.
You are a rare breed. Honestly, you're rare. I don't know if you're aware of this, and I'm going to tell you that you're doing something for the love of it,
Mm,
and that's such a rare thing in this day and age because most people are looking at the monetary value of it
Hmm.
that's right.
before the love of it. You're not signing up and dedicating your time and a portion of your life if you're not getting any monetary gain from it. That's what most people are at this point in age, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that unless I'm getting paid. If I ain't getting the bag, I ain't doing it. So the fact that you're and I was like that as a kid, you know what I'm saying? I was like that, when I joined the military initially. I remember calling my brother like, and he's the same like how your brother was for you. My older brother is like I follow that man. That man says, "Yo, fill the car up with gas, pour some gasoline on you. We're going to hell." I'm going. What time we leaving? Like I'm like, let's go. I'm ready to go. And I remember initially I was just like, man, I'm not getting paid enough money to do this. This military, I'm not getting paid enough money to do this. And he's like, look at the bigger picture and look at what you're doing. Look at what you're giving. Look at what you're sacrificing. And look at
Hmm.
what you're going to be doing for others. And I didn't really see it until my first year. I was like, oh yeah, I get it. So man, thank you to your brother, man. Rest in peace to that man. And
Yeah,
yeah,
appreciate it, though.
you're yeah, wonderful, man.
Well,
I don't want you
can I
to
can I tell you
downplay
about the
that.
breed that I'm not? So
What?
you
Let's
said
hear
I'm
it.
over.
By all means,
Yeah,
bro.
the breed that I'm not is your breed, brother. I would tell you this. So so in high school, I also had the opportunity. I was like one day away. I had taken my ASVAB. I was one day away from joining the military, right? And
Mm.
I remember the guy. His name was Petty Officer Pittman, and he was a recruiter right in my hometown. And I went up there, man, to the office. I said, I'm not going, brother. I was supposed to go up to Atlanta, and he was like, "Why?" I said, I'm
Oh,
scared.
He said,
I said, I'm
hey,
scared.
brother.
I was like, I don't want to go to war. I said, I'm a lover. I'm not a
Oh.
fighter. I can't do it. So,
That man
but
Which
you know
branch was
what? One thing he said, listen, he said, I respect your honesty because a lot of people wouldn't have came or they just would have been like, I'm out. But
yeah.
I literally was scared. This was year 2000. And then in 2001, you know, some stuff went down
Yeah,
here, and
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know how I would have been out there. I'm not that guy that's gonna be on the battlefield like, hey,
Nah,
I
man.
gotta go save. I'll
You
save people in the clinic.
you exude Lieutenant Colonel energy, right? He gives off Lieutenant Colonel energy. Like you give off Lieutenant Colonel energy. Like you walk in and it's attention
You
on
gotta
deck,
salute this
sir.
man.
Yeah, you like, sir. You know, like it's an automatic. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like I know you're not into titles. I understand you're not into titles, but you can't tell me at some point, you know, someone's like, excuse me, sir, or hey, buddy. You're like, hey, it's doctor, right?
Doctor.
I didn't go to school for you to talk to me and just not address me as such. There had to be at one point in time you just was like, hey, it's Dr. Phillips, okay? Just so you understand. Yeah, just one moment where you was like, Dr. Phillips? Just one
it
moment?
it all depends in which room you're in. Now,
Mm.
so generally, because I'll tell you this, generally with physical therapists, and it's also too because like say you go to see your doctor, a cardiologist, or you know, pulmonologist or whatever. You don't see them as often. So physical therapists, they build relationships with their clients because sometimes we're seeing people 2, 3, 5 times a week, and
Yeah.
you got to call somebody doctor every time you step. It takes away from, you know what I'm saying, that like getting to know the
Don't
person.
let me get doctor. Look, let me listen. Is there a doctor house right here, sir? Can you help this man? No, I'm not that type of doctor, bro.
He said he's gonna put
But
it
you
on his
asked, so I just
mailbox.
wanted to answer. Yeah, I just wanted to let you know. You know what I'm saying? I just want to let you know, like I'm here, but I ain't that type of doctor. I can't do no tracheotomy or nothing like that. I ain't here for that. You
Oh
need to
man,
stretch
yeah.
out or something. I got you. But this is a fun. I do have a fun question, right?
Okay.
Some people they argue that physical therapy is often overprescribed, while others believe it's underutilized.
Hmm.
Where do you stand on that issue? What do you think? Do you think physical therapy
Man.
is overprescribed or is it underutilized?
Like, do you believe
So,
in more so
oh,
natural
that's
therapy, or are you leaning more towards what the medical field is saying? We need to go
Mm,
pills. We need to go,
oh
you
yeah,
man,
know,
it's
they
such
need
a
this drug. And
yeah, it can be a fine line, man, because I think for some people, so right now, I'll take a couple of my clients. So I got an older woman that I work with now, who had a fall at a party, broke her hip, had to get surgery. She's got a rod down the shaft of her femur, right?
oof,
oh my,
She she's been working with me for 2 years, right?
wow,
And I've made some progression with her, but to say that part about the medical side, like she needs the pain medication, she needs the injections, you know, she needs some of those things because pain has limited her from getting her life completely back. You know, being able to drive in a car to go 2 hours to see her family, even being able to go up and down stairs, or just just to cook, move a heavy pot from one place to the other in the house. All her daily activities are so limited.
mm,
Now,
God.
now I have a kid now who last summer, no, not last summer, last winter, he was skiing and he broke his tibia,
jeez,
spiral fracture, and he was only 6 years old. The doctor was like, took the cast off, like, oh, he's gonna be good, whatever. And now he's walking with like spaghetti legs. He never did physical therapy, and now this is a place where it was underutilized. You know, like the
right,
doctor was like, "Oh, you know what? He's a kid. He'll just get stronger." And I had him to jump off of like a 6-inch step, and his leg, well, as soon as he lands, his knee goes in like this, and he
oof,
just collapses to the floor. So now it's going to affect him socially, psychologically, because he can't play with his friends. He doesn't have the endurance. So those are cases where I definitely see that it's underutilized. You know, so
okay,
it's like comparing and contrasting two a little bit of two extremes, but that's my opinion on
okay.
it. Yeah.
I just want to say that I know what a spiral fracture is now
Okay.
because you know I'm in class and I learned what it is.
Oh,
Oh, I
okay,
know some
good.
stuff.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
there's a
this
little
ain't no
spiral fracture, like
regular
literally what it
bone.
is.
This thing goes
Yeah,
around.
it
Yeah.
goes around the bone, right? Yeah, you know, I learned that now. You know what I mean? So like, No,
Okay.
it's not a green stick fracture. You know what I mean? It's not a green stick.
Oh,
See, look,
oh,
I
you
know
know
some
your
stuff.
stuff. Come
Ooh,
on.
I be
Hey.
paying attention in school. Like,
A comminuted fracture.
Wow.
Yeah, you on top of it, man.
look, let me
That's
tell you
good.
something, right? Being able to be around guys like you that have so much information and so much knowledge, because I speaking to you, Dr. Cutreal, like I see how I say doctor, I have to say doctor. It's the equivalent of dealing with MIT. He's like such the same way. When I was on this journey with school and physics and I'm trying to explain something, he gets excited. He's like, well, what you have to understand is the gravitational pull. And then when you look at, and I'm like, man, slow down. Right? I don't know what you said. The only thing I understood was 9. It's the only thing I understood what you said when you opened your mouth. You said 9. You talking about Higgs boson and protons colliding. I don't know nothing. Are those names of
Bars, right?
cereal? I don't know what you mean. Right? So, to hear that is like so cool, and it's when you're saying it that that's underutilized when it comes to fitness and the physical therapy. There's been a large, I want to say, how to look at it, with the quick fix fitness programs that's out right now. Do this and you lose a bunch of weight and this will make you stronger, and then you have these. Right, and you have these so-called
BBL Drizzy.
fitness, right, and these fitness experts, these fitness professionals that's on social media that make a living off of saying, I do this for ab blast, and this is how I fix my shoulder pain. I ate 15 cacti, and like, how do you feel like do you feel like this is like a sustainable thing, that this makes sense, or does it like affect your profession? Like, where do
Man,
you stand on
it's
that?
oh, I don't want to go too much on a tangent, but I was telling you I dabble in music, right? I'm like some of the lyrics in the song that I'm working on right now. It's believe it or not, my song is a rap song. Don't judge me now.
Oh,
It's a rap,
mm.
but some of the
Damn, this
lyrics
man is a
that I
doctor and he's a
Just
rapper.
make sure you
no,
drop the
bro,
truth
it
here
ain't
on
like that.
Banter'N'Bullsh.
But I talk about okay, what was one of my lyrics? It basically was talking about how that there's so many fads. There's this quick fix. There's basically the Ozempics, the
Mm,
Monjaro, all these things that are. And it says when you're done with the fad, come back, and I'm gonna share the truth with you about basically it takes patience, it takes time, man. And America, I can't believe we going back to this microwave society that we in, man. Like
mm.
What do you
everything
mean
is
going
like
back? I
I
feel like
gotta have it like this.
yeah,
And it's worse
it's
now
America
than it
way.
was, years ago. It's so oh,
Wow.
what were you gonna say? I'm sorry. What were you gonna say, brother?
Oh no. I'm
He's just
just
agreeing.
Oh, you
I'm
just
agreeing with
agreeing.
you,
Yeah,
Yeah,
brother.
he's
man.
agreeing.
It's
He's
it's
agreeing.
so wild. And um I see it on Instagram and just how that the girls and the guys they're giving all these people likes and they just
Mm,
it's the image that you may never achieve in your own body, but
Mm,
you just envying that and you give it a like and it creates this false sense of what your actual potential is because we
mm,
don't have the mentality to try to get to there. We don't have that drive. We don't have that focus or the willpower, but we like seeing it, you know,
right.
mm.
and it feeds into us. And it's it's tough, man. It's tough to watch. Like I've even been guilty of it. I was like, oh, I like this. Like, oh, that dude is shredded.
Yeah.
I remember when you came over here, man, and we were doing an episode, and I was like, this dude, he's jacked,
Nah, let
and
me
I'm
tuck my
over.
chest in.
I did. I
Uh,
was like, oh man,
uh,
I was like, I got to work on my moves. You remember the
let me tell you
moves?
something. Yes,
You
but
remember the moves?
look. Let me tell you something, right? And it's a great segue for that. I love that you brought that up. With the same thing with these fitness influencers and this idea that this is attainable. These bodies that are had and they're like, well, if you do this, you can get abs in 1 month, or if you eat this or you take this out. Being that you're in the physical therapy and you're into fitness as well, do you like it hinders to me. I can't speak for anybody else. I feel like it hinders real progress and real
Absolutely,
education when it comes to fitness, when it comes to
absolutely.
health, right? So with these social media influencers, these fitness influencers, can they be taken seriously?
Oh,
Like,
man,
can
it's
they?
hard. It's hard. So I was asking, I asked AI. I said, well, how did I pose the question? It was basically, how can having a false sense of reality uh prevent you from reaching your goals?
Mm,
And one of the top answers was that it can make you depressed, because you have no realistic outlook. Like, and it causes you not to set realistic goals. Then therefore you don't have a realistic time that you need to be putting in to achieve these goals. It just was like you're basically living in a fantasy world. You know what I'm
right.
saying? By all of this instant stuff, Instagram, right on. It's just so much of that stuff is out there, man. But people need to understand that anything, whether it's finance, relationship, spirituality, whatever it is, it takes time to kind of foster, these things. When it
Mm,
comes to your physical health, you got to be patient. You got to be consistent. You know,
yeah,
that's
Right.
true.
that's how I see it.
There isn't one
That's true.
right
Yeah,
way of getting to your goal. It's more
Right.
so of a lifestyle change is what I believe I'm hearing you say.
Oh, huge, huge lifestyle, man. And I've been, dude, I'm so guilty of it. Like, I'm this is one thing I try not to do, is portray that I'm somebody that I might look like on paper, right? But
right.
Mhm.
I would tell you this, and it's so vivid in my mind, I feel ashamed, but I I ran a red light the other day, right?
Allegedly.
And the reason, allegedly, I allegedly ran a red light
Hmm.
to allegedly go and get two glazed donuts. It was
Look,
the,
I was trying
I'm
to hear where
sorry.
you went
That got me.
wrong. I haven't
That
heard
got
it
me.
yet. I'm waiting for the point where I can interject and say I wouldn't have done anything different. Listen,
Was it
and
Krispy Kreme?
I've done
Was it
worse
Krispy
with
Kreme?
glazed donuts.
no,
Pause, but
and this is the worst part. They were 7-Eleven donuts.
Oh man.
Hey, but
oh,
listen,
okay.
Oh man.
Now you lost me. You lost
Come
me,
on, Doc. Come on, Doc.
man.
Come on, man. Come
but
I
on
thought you
now.
were about to say Krispy Kreme.
Yeah. Name brand
Like,
donuts, at least. Name
right.
brand donuts.
but
Man.
listen, eh, I I
Man.
said, man, there's so much psychology behind this whole thing. Because first of all, I had skipped breakfast and I was running late for work. There was a lot of other factors, so I hadn't planned my day. So this is also a lifestyle type of thing. Like, most
Hmm.
people who are really into their fitness, they plan their meals, they've gotten stuff in the way. But because I didn't do any of that stuff, I'm hungry and I'm like, I got to get to this place, get to this client at this time, and a donut sounds so good. And
Don't
I'm like,
interrupt
I'm
me.
I'm running a red light for
For a
two
donut.
7-Eleven donuts. Is
Oh.
that
Oh.
ridiculous?
you,
Now that's
you
some.
actually brought up something very interesting I wanted to ask you about. Do you believe in diets? Because again,
Mm.
going back to lifestyle, I people ask me all the time, what can I do? What diet can I get on that will change me and make? I'm like, listen, there isn't a real diet that you should
Mm,
really, because like I don't even consider diet. You have to
yeah,
change the way you think. You have to change the way
yeah,
you process. You
Mm.
got to understand. I eat what I want. I listen. I will go ham on some donuts. I love I love junk food. I do. I eat a
yeah.
pizza. Is every once in a while, but it's
Right.
about portion control as well. You have to understand. Okay, if I can't do that much. Listen, if I eat these two donuts, I can't eat anything else really serious for the rest of the day. So let me
Mm.
pick and choose what I'm going to really go ham on. So let me ask you, Doc, do you believe in diets?
Man, that's a great question. Now, oh man, my
Mm.
answer, I believe understanding dietary habits
Mm,
can really help a person, but that's also comes into just your self-control, your lifestyle, and all this stuff. I think understanding dietary habits is important. Now, going on diets, I don't I don't believe in that, because when you go off of it, your habits and
Thank you.
everything
Come right
you
back.
Right, come
it
right
Come
comes
back
right
in
right
back.
back.
full force.
Come right back. Yeah. And it seems like it comes
With
back
a
aggressively.
vengeance.
Yeah,
Right.
it
Yeah,
comes back
you
aggressively.
might even go over what your previous
Right.
weight was when you
Yeah.
Exactly.
and end up
I
hurting yourself.
I remember I tried that. I tried, like, when I was younger, I tried dieting, man, and man, let me tell you something. I had like 2 cheesecakes, I had a milkshake, I had cookies with the cheese. Like, it just went out of control real fast.
Mm.
Wait, what'd you have again?
2 cheesecakes.
He didn't
2
say
cheesecakes.
slice. He didn't say
No,
slice.
2 cheesecakes.
He
Like I
said
said, I got the
cheesecake.
Entenmann's cheesecake and a spoon, and it was just stacked on top of each other. Kill that one next. Like, let's go. Like,
Next. Yeah,
listen.
man.
All
It's
right.
it's tough, man. If you don't learn about like what certain foods do in your body
Mm.
and
Mm-hmm.
try to eat natural, because I know Mr. Carter over here, like he's a clean eater, right?
I
And
try.
I had gone on this diet. It's called a Daniel's fast, right? Where you're just eating all natural fruit, vegetables. You can eat nuts. You cutting out sugar and all this stuff. And
What about meats?
nah, no meats on
No
it.
meats. Okay.
And so the day that I came off of, man, I was counting it down. And I was actually doing this with my church. It's a popular thing that some churches do, right? And I was counting down, man, because as soon as church was over, I was in church thinking about Popeyes. Like, I
Like,
kid you not, man. And the first thing I did, I went and got that big thick Popeyes biscuit. And if your
oh
system
my
has been
goodness.
used to processing lettuce, tomatoes, and
Yes.
you throw a
Yes.
biscuit in there,
It
bro,
no.
I ended up in the ER, man.
I believe you. I believe
I
Yo,
you.
ended up with an intestinal blockage, man, because that
wow.
biscuit was not.
Yo. You know what's crazy? But it tells you something, right? It
Yeah,
tells you that we've been poisoning ourselves on a day-to-day
Yeah.
basis for
Yeah.
years of our lives and not notice it. That
Right.
our bodies have gotten so used to the poison that it adapted to the poison to
Yeah.
continue to function.
true.
Because when I stopped eating poultry and beef and all that, like, it was like a detox. Like, it was like coming off a crack. Like, I was like, for real. Like, I was in there like, man,
Wow.
burger keep calling me. Let me get one burger, man. One burger, man. A chicken nugget or something, man. Come on, man. Like, I was going through it, and then after like 30 days of not doing it, I can smell a burger being cooked, and it's the most disgusting smell to me now.
Wow.
Like, it smells disgusting.
Wow.
I've learned, and it's a good, if you can't have something or you don't want something, learn or train yourself to hate it, right? To
Mm,
dislike it. And
yeah.
your body will respond like, oh, it's disgusting. I can see a burger and I see nothing attractive about a burger. I
Mm.
see nothing attractive about a chicken nugget or a chicken sandwich. None of that impresses me. I'm just like, it's nasty as hell. Like, I get disgusted. Like,
Not even Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A is the devil. All right.
That seasoning.
My pleasure.
My God.
Look, and
That seasoning they put on that chicken.
and
Jeez.
with saying, right, and with that, right, and that's another thing, right, with that, you being a physical therapist, and you also with Gummy, Get Up and Move It, that movement. What was the inspiration for that? Because I love it. When it was mentioned to me and what it was about, I was just all the way
Oh,
on board. I'm still on board. I'm still a Gummy guy. I'm
Yeah.
all about it. What was the inspiration for
Oh
for
man.
Gummy?
So the inspiration behind that, man, Gummy, Get Up and Move It. Um, social platform that I started years ago, basically back in 2019.
mm,
And some of the inspiration that it came from was that, so first of all, I grew up in the South, and people who grew up in the South generally, they like to eat. You got somebody who can really throw down in the kitchen, like can
Mm-hmm.
cook. And I grew up around food, man. Like it was like food brought families together. It's tradition, it's
Yup.
love,
Right.
it's all of that, right?
Right.
But I also saw how it was abused in my own family.
Mm.
So my dad actually ended up with heart disease, hypertension, and in 2007 he passed away from cardiac arrest. And it was like, and I still saw it with generations, my own generations, cousins, aunts, uncles, a lot of morbid obesity. And, I'm not just talking about 250 pounds, I'm talking about plus, like
Mm.
300 plus, you know.
Wow.
And seeing that stuff in my family, I said, man, I got to find a way, not just to reach my family, but I want to reach anybody who will listen. Because a lot of us, we can have all the knowledge and information to say help a family member off of alcohol or whatever. They're not going to hear it from us sometimes. You
Right.
might hear it from a stranger.
Mm.
So I said, I'm gonna do this because I want to reach my family, but I want to reach anybody who will listen. I want to have a platform where people can share their stories, share their journey, and it might touch and inspire, because you might see one person and be like, I can relate to that person. I can relate to this girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? So just having something out there where people could come and share and not be judged and be like, this is where I'm at on my fitness journey. Like, this is what I'm doing. And to get a thumbs up and a like, it goes a long way,
That's true.
or keep moving, bro. Like, I remember going back to one of your videos that you posted.
I don't know
And
what he's
because,
talking about, people.
so
I have no idea what he's
if
talking
you
about.
know this guy, he likes his calisthenics. In my phone, I have him as Spider-Man. Whatever Carter, I don't know who Carter is, but you're my phone is Spider-Man.
People,
This
he's
dude,
telling a story.
yeah,
So it's
this dude
fictional.
flying,
So fictional.
muscle ups, jumping, flying.
So fictional.
You've seen this guy on social media, the one that does the push-ups, and he's like,
Yeah,
and
you're
That's
people are
not me.
moving,
Yeah, that guy's doing. Yeah. Ha 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 ha
people
ha
clearing out the
ha.
way, man. He's like,
Yeah, that guy
bro.
is in the way.
So, but you know what? It
right.
sparked, like, I think it sparked other people to sort of engage, because nobody is closely affiliated to somebody who that has that kind of strength, and they're like, oh,
Mm.
maybe I won't be able to do what you're doing, but maybe I could do a pull-up one day.
Yeah.
And somebody actually posted a pull-up using one of the elastic, the thick, heavy elastic
It
bands.
starts somewhere. It starts
It
somewhere.
starts somewhere.
And
So
that's what it's
maybe
all
you've
about.
seen, yeah. So that's
That's what it's all
that's
about.
kind of what I use to kind of help inspire me to continue on this thing. And also, what we also do is we give away prizes occasionally. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people being rewarded for just sharing
Yeah.
their fitness journey. We do challenges and doing prizes and all that stuff.
See, he's so humble. He hasn't said it. You can follow Gummy at Facebook, Get Up
Thank
and
you.
Move It. You can also go on Instagram, 321 Gummy, right?
Yes, sir.
So look, it's GUMI, Get Up and Move It. You can
Get up and
is
move it.
such a great thing, because like he said,
Wow.
you can get in on this platform, and it doesn't matter. We're not here to judge you,
Subscribe
to
now.
shame you. We're here to motivate. Get up, do what you have to do. Whatever, if you walked 2 miles, that you got up and you moved. You
That's it.
did something. You just
That's it.
achieved your first push-up, or you just did 5 push-ups. Who cares? You're doing something. And
Yeah.
that's what matters. And I appreciate you for starting that movement and I want that thing to get bigger and bigger. Like, for
Oh,
real.
appreciate you, brother.
I want to see that thing just consistently grow.
Absolutely.
Now, with that, with someone, let's say that, just as you said, with someone struggling on their fitness journey, or struggling in their rehab journey, or just just struggling period when it comes to fitness, or health and wellness, what is your number one best piece of advice that you could give them, as a doctor and as someone who's done that same journey? What is your best piece of advice that you could give somebody who's
Oh,
listening right
man.
now?
Best piece of advice, I would say, start slow and be consistent.
Mm.
Um, because and of course I got a story for everything, right?
Let's go.
I'm a
I
physical.
want to hear it. I want to hear
No,
it.
it's a very short story, but I'm a physical therapist, man. I every day that I work, I'm prescribing exercises for or a regimen for somebody to do, right? And believe it or not, a lot of people in the health field, a good amount of people aren't really practicing what they preach, right? And I'll give you this is one example.
It's
I
true.
was working at my job years ago. I was working at a hospital, and I saw I was coming into work, and these guys were taking a break. It was the pulmonologist and the respiratory therapist taking a smoke break. And
What?
I was
Yeah,
like,
nah,
if
that's
this
not
ain't,
it.
dude, just think about that. The pulmonologist and the respiratory therapist outside
Nah,
puffing
I
it
don't
away.
want
I
to
was
listen
like,
to anything you're
You know
saying
what?
now.
You should quit smoking. Wow.
Listen,
It's
it's
not
not
good for
good
your
for you.
health.
yeah,
Ah,
so-
ah.
right.
And
So that's the
Yeah,
practice
that's
what you
insane.
preach part, right?
Absolutely.
And not to be so glorified. I don't know their life or their struggle or whatever it is. They probably had some issues or whatever, but I also believe in practicing what I preach, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but starting slow is an example where I went to the gym one day, and like I said, I prescribe exercises all of my patients. About 95% of them have exercises prescribed to them, and
Mm.
I'm monitoring their technique and everything like that, right? So I went to the gym one night, probably about 12 o'clock, and I went to go do some pull-ups, right? And I got on the pull-up, boom, hit my head on the pull-up bar,
Yeah.
boom, got off of there. So I said, all right, let me go over here and I'm gonna do what was it? Oh, I was gonna do some ab rollouts with the ball.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do these things, roll out, and then I fell over somehow. And I was
Right.
like, if somebody's watching this on the camera, they're like, this dude has no idea
no idea what
what.
he's doing.
And I was like, okay,
This guy's
I really,
he's a comic reel right now at this point.
I was like, I
Just put some
probably
music
should
to
just
him.
go. Yeah, I probably
This
should
supposed to
just
have been
go
his New
home,
Year's
call it a night,
resolution.
Yeah, but you
regroup.
stayed. But you stayed.
But I stayed, man. But the thing was is that I've been giving these things to people to do every day, but I'm trying to step up and do some stuff that I haven't done in years. And oh yeah, the other thing was I was on the squat bar, and I was like, oh, this only 135. I only had a 45 on each side, but I was like, oh, I'm not putting the clips on each side. I can go down.
Oh
Dude had
Lord.
to run
Oh, you're
over.
that guy? You did one of
Dude
those?
did one of those. Almost
Ooh.
lost it.
He did the I'm a little teapot. Tip me over and pour me out.
Dang.
Hey, look.
That's but that was pride getting in the way and me saying like, oh, I'm capable of doing this. I teach it to people every day, but I really hadn't been practicing it.
Right.
You know, so starting slow, I was speaking to myself and staying consistent, you know. So I went back, I showed up the next day, but I was like, I gotta go home after that. Like that was
I guess.
No,
Oh, so
you're
that was it right there. You said no more sets.
not for
not
that night.
Did you
I was
did
not
you
for
like,
put
that
the
night.
clips
But he
I was
came.
back?
like,
Oh man. So
Yeah, he
next
came. But
time
he
you went
came
around,
back.
did you put the clips on?
Yeah, he
I
came at
put
my
I put
old.
the
You know
clips
what?
on. I
I
finished.
know.
He came in my old nemesis. Today I shall win. You know what I mean? Like, no, it's so funny. Like just something so small. I remember I was in the gym and I was watching this guy. He was jumping rope and he is just killing it. He's switching out and throwing the rope out and spinning back and he's catching it with his hand. I'm like,
Wow.
damn. This is a fun fact I'm gonna share with y'all. I
Go ahead.
am physically incapable of jumping rope forward.
No way.
Like when you have the rope behind you and you bring it
Yeah.
forward over your head. I am physically incapable of doing that.
Really?
Like I
Every time
am.
you jump a rope, we think you're showing off because you're doing it backwards. Is what you're telling me?
No. Is I only know how to jump rope backwards. That's
Yeah,
I
I would
have to
think you're
have the
showing
rope.
off. If I saw a dude in the gym doing it backwards, I'd be like, this dude showing off, man.
And that's what's
Same
funny.
here.
Somebody walked up to me and was like, "Yo, that's really impressive." I'm like, "What are you talking
Yeah.
about? You're jumping rope backwards and you're doing the switching the feet and the knees up." I said, "Sir, I have no idea how to jump rope forwards. This is the only reason why I'm doing this. if I knew how to do it the normal way, I would have done this. He's like, your kid, like, okay, watch this. I go, and I'm just tumbling. Like, as soon as I just, I'm just like confused. I don't know how to do it. And I started jumping rope backwards, and I could only probably jump for like 30 seconds. And I wanted to give up. I really did. I was like, yo, I can't seem to lock this in. And I just kept going and going and going. Now I can, do the back and forth boxers feed, and I can pick my knees. I'm really proud of myself, and I appreciate the consistency because that's really what it boils down to. That's what it boils down to is really just sticking to it. You can, you're going to get better. Like I remember when I couldn't do a pull up. I remember when I couldn't do a pull up. I remember, and you know when I learned I couldn't do a pull up? Basic training. I learned.
Bro, I was about to ask.
Basic training.
You can't
basic training.
Wow.
Couldn't do a pull up. And I remember, my ITI was like, you have got to be shitting me. He said, how old are you? I'm like, 19, sir. He's like, you can't be. You are a weakling. Like, he's like, you're a weakling. You can't do a pull up. I said, man, I could do a pull up. He's like, what you did was a struggle up. That was not a pull up. That's what he told me. He said, that was a struggle up. You was kicking. I was fighting the air. I imagine I look like Jim Carrey when you in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective 2 coming out of the rhino. I was just going through it, like, just struggling. And I really appreciate you giving that advice because I think people have this thing where we compare ourselves to everyone else.
Huge.
We're so worried about that person being this shape. Your body type won't achieve that shape because that's not your body type. It'll be this shape. We all can't be like MIK and leg press a Volkswagen. That's not stuff we can do. He does that. That's what he does. What? I can't do that.
Good doctor.
Leg pressing a Volkswagen.
This guy is leg pressing 800 pounds to half a ton. I can't do that. Right?
Dr. Phillips, could you let us into your world? What the conversation that you're having with other physical therapists, what's the topic of conversation right now?
I'm curious.
Oh, man, well, dude,
I'm curious.
Topics of conversations. Oh, I wasn't prepared for this one. This is well, okay, let me let you know what some of the conversations I'm having sort of in my realm of PT, right? Because I'm not in the realm with like most other physical therapists. So what I do is concierge PT, right? And this concierge PT is like, have you ever seen Royal Pains? So Royal Pains is basically like a doctor that was working in the Hamptons, working with the wealthy, doing house calls.
Oh, so you saying you is not cheap? Okay, I got it.
So
understood.
Now, so listen. Remember,
Black card.
I worked for the smothered pork chops at one point, but the brother got to come up. You got to be able to bring it all together.
Elevate. Yeah, you got to elevate. All right. If it's going to be smothered, it better be Kobe beef now. Okay, I got you. Okay, you work for Kobe beef, but that's about it. Right?
But listen, I still serve the community because the wealthy people, they'll pay this amount, so I can still serve and give pro bono services, and I feel good about it. And that's I balance it out. But some of the conversations I have, man, are just like with other PTs that I work with are like, we talk about the rich and the wealthy people and how that they just so out of touch with reality. Like, because I don't know, are you guys familiar with debit cards?
Yeah.
Do you use one or?
I mean, I don't have a choice.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I was working with one of my clients, and they were talking about buying this bed, right? And I was like, "Oh man, you probably gonna go to Raymore and Flanagan or what's one of those Ashley Furniture or something like that." And she was like, "Oh no, we're going to go to Bloomingdale's, and they have a bed that's on sale for like, I think she said it was like 20% off." Okay. I looked up the bed. The bed was $30,000. God. Oh. I said I didn't even know beds. There were beds. and she was
Oh.
excited about the 20% off, man. And I was like,
my
wow,
God.
this.
Oh
I
my
said,
God. I'm going to say
so she
$6,000.
basically, so
That's
our
like 2
conversation
sweet.
was like, oh, we put it on the credit card, and then she was somehow talking about debit, and she was like, oh, do you use debit cards? And I was like, yeah, I use a debit card. And she was like, why? And I was like,
Because
so
that's where my
they're at
money
that
is.
point.
That's where my
That's a
money is. I
different.
don't know.
Yeah. So I work with other PTs who are dealing with clients like this. So they're in a different realm, man. Like I was like, wait, you don't have debit? You don't have no, I
Listen, I hope to get to that level of money to where
Bougie
I
right
can
now.
go, that I can just say to myself, I don't care what it costs. I don't even know what it like. Let me tell you something. I was just saying this from last night to today. I was just complaining like, yo, I spent $164 and I was just so depressed that I had to spend that money. I was like, oh my God, so much money.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
man, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
It's $164. I can't make that back. That's just like
I get
I
it.
don't know.
I get it, man. I
That's
totally get
insane.
it.
But I do know that you have another prior engagement that you need to get to because you have a lot of stuff to do, a lot of things, a lot of lives to save, a lot of people to rehabilitate. So
Absolutely.
we wanna thank you for giving us the
Hey,
time.
Absolutely.
listen,
Imam,
man.
Before
I
before
appreciate it,
before
and
you
I so wish I had so much more time, man, to be on here, man. Because this was the highlight of my day, man. I enjoy being
you
on here
are the
with you
highlight
guys,
of my
man.
day.
And
But
appreciate you.
before you go, if you could just
Yeah.
give us a quick 30 seconds, what does the next year look like for Dr. Phillips and
that's
Gummy?
right.
Oh man. So
Yeah, let's hear it.
the next year looks like me getting my money from these rich people because they don't like to pay.
I love
Can't
it.
use a debit card
Listen,
for it. I'm gonna
I
tell you
gotta
that right
send
now.
I gotta send a lawyer out, man. Because listen, okay, I'm sorry, man. I gotta answer these questions seriously, right? But I did run into a problem, man, where I have
Oh, wow.
some of these wealthy people. I've had to chase down money. I'm not talking about $300. I'm talking about and this was a part of. Um, I will tell you this: the next year looks like me being a better businessman. I'm a
Mm,
great physical therapist. I love what I
That is
do.
dope.
I'm passionate
That is
about it,
dope.
but
but you
I
got to
gotta
be
be on.
shrewd. You got to be
Yeah,
shrewd. Take the
I gotta
emotion
be.
out. Yeah,
I
there's no
gotta,
emotion
man.
in business. There's no emotion in
Yeah,
business.
That's right.
because
Yeah.
they don't mind letting you stay broke. I'll give you this one example, right? I went and helped
Damn.
this guy out.
Wow.
I helped this
Woo.
guy.
Oh,
Damn.
you gotta
He
cut that
he
down.
called me to come and take care of his wife. His wife had a stroke, and he's on a I can't even say, but he's on a popular brand that is like a household name, right?
Ooh.
He's
Ooh.
he's he made the deals happen
They don't want to
here
name
and in
Mm.
the UK. Popular brand. I can't even tell you. It's with a popular American food that's very popular in New York, but it's a world known brand. That's all I'm gonna say.
Craft.
I might
It's
call his name
craft.
because I'm upset with
Chuck
him,
cheese
It's
but I ain't
craft.
gonna
craft.
do that. I gotta
It's
have
craft. It
safety
gotta be
first.
craft. It gotta be craft. Yeah.
But anyway, I took care of his wife, and it got to the point he was like, "Oh, you're doing such great work." I got her back to walking. She had a stroke. I hooked her up with a speech therapist. I brought my speech therapist in, brought in my OT,
Doing
and
good
we
work.
had this lady doing great, circling around the pool. And come time to catch up on the payments, he was like, he started being in meetings when I would show up.
Of course.
I would come for the sessions. They'd be like, "Oh, he's in a meeting," and I'm coming with my phone. I got my Square. I'm like ready to swipe the card, everything.
Oh,
And
you
in the
came with the
summer come,
square, like,
yeah, right.
come on.
So
You know what?
so end of summer comes, and Buddy is like nowhere to be found, man.
Wow.
Skip town, and now
Woo.
we got to go to court because
Whoa, buddy.
Wow.
I was a good therapist, but not a good businessman. You know what I'm saying? So now I got to send my goons down to your place in
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I'm gonna say this, right? Down payment. You
Yeah,
want to deposit. It's deposits
yeah,
from here on out. All
yeah.
right. When it comes to this high level thing, you got to drop 5,000 down right now, bro. I'm sorry.
That's
I
right.
can't even
Seriously.
see you if you
That's
put
right.
5K down.
Pay as
All
you
Yeah,
right.
go.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's it. You know what I'm saying?
We
Because
don't
what
do
I will
billing
do,
with
because
you.
if you
Pay
don't give
as you
me,
go.
yeah, if you don't give me my money, I might hit your wife with a taser real quick. You had to start over. Keep playing with me now. All right. Tell her take a lap in that pool. Yeah. Yeah. She get that pool. I hit that water real quick. Teach her something. She gonna be in there like this. She gonna need that speech therapy all over again.
Y'all got me rolling, man.
Let me stop. But Dr. Phillips, man, we appreciate you, man.
Man, thank y'all,
you
man.
can come back. You can come back. You can definitely come back.
I'm definitely coming back, man. This
You
is
can come
fun. I love to laugh. I love to talk, and you know, this actually helped me, man, because I haven't told too many people about this, because it hurts me that I was a bad businessman, you know, and I love what I do, but this helps me to know I got to step up my game, you know, in that area. You know,
you come back.
Being honest,
drop names, because we all about that smoke.
To the point where you can talk about it. Absolutely.
Exactly. That's true. That's true. So when you come back, you drop names, because if he don't know this, Emma, we love all the problems. We want all the problems. All the smoke. Listen, we want all the vape, all the hookah. We want it all. All right. We here for it. But Dr. Phillips, man, I know you got to get to where you got to get to. We appreciate you showing up, coming out. Thank you for coming out. You can take yourself, all right? Yo, we appreciate you, man. For real. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can log off and get to what you got to get to, man. We appreciate you.
Y'all
Thank you.
care,
Thank you, sir. All right. Take it easy.
Oh, don't forget real quick, can you just can you just share your socials if you have
do it again.
Yes.
Do it again.
Oh, so my social is on Facebook. It's at GUMI, Get Up and Move It. On Instagram, it's at 321 GUMI. Also on TikTok, 321 GUMI. And we're actually gonna be officially launching a YouTube channel soon. So it'll be Get Up and Move It. So
let's go. Yeah. I'm there for it. I am there for it. I am there for it. Let's go. All right, man. Go save the world, sir.
Take care, brother.
All right.
Take it easy.
All right. Thank you.
That's what I love, man. See that right there. That's beautiful, man. We had a doctor on the show. I'm like really excited. Like we did something super cool. Like
moving on up.
Are you drinking like a power shake? I know it just looks like a power shaker. Like,
bro, this is my
proteins,
lunch, man.
Just I figured as much. I figured that's what you would be doing. Almond butter? Really? Almond butter?
Bro, man, almond butter's delicious. Pause. But
I don't think you got to say pause for almond butter. I don't. It's almond butter. It's just butter.
That butter.
See, now you just made it weird.
If I said peanut butter, and that's a pause word moment, right?
Yeah, because you saying pea and you saying nut. That sounds crazy. I was like, but you don't gotta say. You don't gotta say almond butter is a. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't need. You know what I mean?
Man,
you don't have to.
The doctor was amazing, though.
Yo, like, look.
I still have more questions to ask. We got to get him on soon. I didn't have the opportunity to detain. You know, I really.
I know.
To really test.
He just texted me and said he had a lot of fun and he appreciates us, man. You know, he's on his way out.
We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, amazing, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate him. I definitely appreciate him. But, you know, I didn't get a chance to say, because we were interviewing the doctor. I do want to say, rest in peace to Roberta Flack. I don't know if you know that she passed away, but rest in peace to Roberta Flack. I would be remiss if I didn't address her passing and pretend like she didn't exist and she didn't, like, just rest in peace to her, man. Because when I heard it, I was like, man, she passed away. And a couple of friends of mine was like, yo, I didn't even know she sang Killing Me Softly. I was like, damn, you didn't know that? Yeah, I was like, you know what I mean? Like,
started with Lauren?
Yeah, a lot of people believe it started with Lauren. They didn't know that Lauren actually just did the cover. A lot of people didn't know that. And I think, you know, unfortunately, as Biggie say, man, you're nobody till somebody kills you, or you're not somebody until you die. People don't seem to know the greatness that you are until you pass away. And so we have to be better about giving these artists their flowers while they're here to smell it, while they're here to enjoy it.
Absolutely.
We have to be better. You know what I mean? I just saw a video of Foxy Brown, and it broke my heart, bro. The reggae artist Foxy Brown. Sorry is all that you can. Like
Okay.
I, it it hurt to see. She's suffering from I think she has like dementia or something like that, and she's only like in her mid 50s, and it's just terrible to see her in that position. And it's like where the industry failed her. She gave us all this great music, and she's done so many great things. Why aren't we doing more to help her?
Mm.
And then I started thinking, like, does music really have a retirement plan, health
No, sir.
benefits? You know what I'm
No,
saying?
sir.
Not have health
No, sir.
benefits. But
No
these
health benefits. Right.
corporations,
Right.
these
That's
corporations take so much from these artists,
mhm.
so much, and then when they can no longer produce, they're cast aside and forgotten about,
Yeah.
and they're on
No,
some
that's
tabloid, and that's
mhm.
that's really sad, man. It's you know it's just sad to see, and I just hope that we can do better with our musicians and actors and actresses and whatnot, just to do better. I think that would be a thing that needs to be done. Um, a few other things I would love to talk to you about. Do you know about a town in South Africa called Orania?
Orania.
Orania. O.
Orania.
Yeah, Orania. Yeah, Orania. It's a town in
Orania.
South Africa. Orania. Oranian? No, it's not Oranian. Orania.
So
I
no.
apparently this town in South Africa is a whites only town.
Okay.
Africans are not allowed to live there.
All right.
I just want to reiterate. I just want to reiterate. It is a white only town. Africans are
So
not allowed to live there.
so they held on to some of the rules since apartheid is what you're
Yes,
telling me. Okay.
yes, and
Mm.
that's insane. That's insane. When you put this up, and I say that to put it as a juxtaposition to over 300 Caucasians were just granted citizenship to Ghana.
So
Notice how the Ghanaian people, these Africans, are not denying anyone access to their country, regardless of their color. But notice how the South Africans, who are of one specific color, are completely denying people access
mhm.
because of their color. Do we not see a problem with that?
So when you say they are denying anyone of any other color other than white, explain that to me. So it's like, is
You
it
cannot live
written?
in this town. Yes, you cannot live in this
Okay.
town. You cannot come
So,
here. You are not allowed to live here. You will not be allowed to live here. It will never happen. We have reserved the right to deny entry. We only want these people here.
how
That's it.
did you hear about this? I have to
I
ask,
was
man.
I was having a conversation with an African brother today. Actually, I went in just to check up on him. He owns a store, and I just wanted to check up on him because I always do. And we were talking about it, and I was telling him that someone I would say someone called me. I don't want to say us. I want to say me. Someone called me racist. Right? Someone said I was
Mhm.
racist. Apparently, they commented on one of the shorts, and I was like, okay, cool. That's fine if that's how you feel. It's comedy. Where if you watch the show, we joke around a lot. I think personally that racism is hilarious. Emma thinks the same thing. We make fun of it because it's stupid. You took it
Absolutely.
upon yourself to say that it was racist. So hearing about Orania, being that I never heard of it, and this African brother educated me on something I was completely unaware of, and I googled it. I'm pretty sure that's what you're doing right now.
Yeah,
It was
I'm
like
looking for it. Mhm.
I was like, holy crap! Like you're denied entry into some like that's insane to me. But then you turn around and you watch that Ghana just granted you got citizenship to Ghana without a problem. Ghana didn't say, "Oh no, we only want black people." They didn't say that. So I always find it so strange that you can point fingers and call someone racist of my skin color racist when it's obvious who the real racists are and who the real separatists are, and it's unnecessary. And for you to say something negative or say something that's challenging or clickbait to incite some type of argument, it's foolish because we here at Banter'N'Bullsh, we don't do that. We respect your opinion, but we'll also give you some education on your opinion because you may be wrong and you're wrong, and these are the things we have to learn. We have to learn how to have these open conversations and educate ourselves. I was just explaining to my daughter, do you know about the Wall of Benin? The African brother was talking about that as
No,
well.
I don't know anything about that either.
Yeah, he
I don't
broke
mind
out
being
the
schooled,
map.
brother.
Yeah, he broke out the map. He said Benin is right here, and the Wall of Benin was 3 times larger than the Wall of China. And people don't even know about that. And they destroyed that wall because they couldn't believe that black people built something this
Okay, so
amazing.
that's why we haven't heard about it. Okay.
And I was like, wow. So just listening, and he said something that, do you feel that we should stop teaching kids about slavery? Do you think we should stop? That this country should
That's
stop teaching slavery?
wow. It's funny that you bring that up now that well, it seems like Elon Musk and Trump are attacking DEI. So, do I feel like we should stop teaching slavery? You're basically asking me, should we stop teaching American history? Because it's so embedded into our history to the point where it's even affecting a lot of Americans today, especially
Mm,
of a specific color. How so? Because as most of us already know, this country was built on slavery. This country was built on free labor.
mm,
So we are the richest country in the world, hands down. There isn't really a close second. How did we get that way?
mm,
Again, free labor. So if we are essentially saying we want to stop teaching slavery, then we're basically telling our youth moving forward, I don't know how we got this way, but we are. I don't know what. So I feel like by doing that, we are setting
mm.
ourselves up for disaster. And I don't feel that the ones who are highly affected by it
Yeah.
will stop talking about it, but the ones who benefited from it, the ones who are still benefiting from it today, of course they'd want to ignore some of these conversations. Why? Because they may feel as if they have to give up something that they have or something they own. Hey,
Well,
you know,
I
I
challenge you
didn't
this.
enslave anybody. I don't understand why you want what I have.
I wasn't. It
Listen,
wasn't me.
right?
AJ
It
only
wasn't
Shaggy real
me.
quick. It wasn't me.
Right,
I caught you with a
right.
slaver. It wasn't me.
It
You was whipping
wasn't me.
that
It
man there.
wasn't me.
It wasn't me. But no, I
How'd you
will
get
say
your
this,
millions?
right?
My
It wasn't
daddy.
me.
Well, how did your daddy get them?
The way my
Man,
account works, it's a debit and a credit, and it's but no, look, the brother that I was speaking to, brother Abdul, he said to me he agrees that they should stop teaching slavery in America, and I was confused until he said because they're not teaching it accurately. Teach the true history of what black people were to this country.
So
The way you teach it as if our existence began in slavery. You teach it as if they brought us to America and this is when our story began. He said,
mhm.
teach it correctly.
Okay.
Teach it to where the Moors ruled Spain for over 700 years. Teach it to where they built the first colleges and universities. Teach it to where they were astrologers and astronomers and they did, open heart surgery, to ever be done. Teach it to where they educated the philosophers that the Greeks got. He said, if you're going to teach the history, he says, I want it to be taught correctly because kids believe that Africans were just brought here on ships, piled on top of each other, whipped.
Hmm.
Your name is Toby. You got your freedom, and so on. And he said that's not accurate. So he says it should be stopped because it should be taught correctly. The history is not being told right. And I was like, he has a point. You're not saying that Africans were here. The way you made it sound, he says, is that you make it sound as if Africans were here when they were brought. by the Spaniards and the Europeans, right? This is when it happened. But you're not telling them that we were here hundreds of years before Columbus. You're not telling them that we've already traversed and explored all of this area way before pilgrims ever landed anywhere near America. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, if you teach the history correct, it will be a different type of education. It will be a different reception
Yeah,
to it.
but do you hear what you're saying?
Yeah.
Every you started every sentence with we,
Right.
we, we need to teach for that. We started and we were hit.
Mm,
Listen, we are 12% of this country. 12
mm.
was 12 13% of this country.
I think it's
So
13. I believe it's 13.
when you're speaking of we, you're essentially saying the 13%, they need to be teaching it from the 13% perspective. How difficult would that be for someone who, one, we know when it comes to American living that there's a sense of exceptionalism, there's a sense of excitement and pride. They
Mm,
don't talk about pain, they don't talk about hurt
right.
when it becomes to American history. Why? Because it's painful. And again, if you lived a life of privilege, if you lived a life of exceptionalism, that's what you want to speak of. That's what you want to talk about. And anything beyond that is just painful. Why would you want to waste your time talking about something painful? And
Mm,
I've actually had conversations with young black people recently, and that's one thing that they were basically telling me. I don't want to watch slave movies. I don't want to watch any of those. Why?
right.
Because it's painful. I don't want to think about it. Every time I watch it, I just want to go out and punch a white person. And it's
Yeah.
like, why do I want to walk around with that mentality? And then you have to stop for a second and say, I kind of understand that perspective too. I kind of
Yeah.
understand the perspective that how can you properly teach someone if you're only talking from a perspective of pain? So, going back to what you were just saying, should we stop teaching slavery because they're not teaching it correctly? Bro,
Not
if they
slavery. I'm
don't,
just like, I mean,
if
like
they
the
don't,
history in itself. Continue.
well,
My bad.
of course, but we had to put in so much work just for them to speak at this level. So if
Yeah.
you're essentially
You
saying
ain't lying.
knock everything down, start back over, do it over again. We don't like the way you did it. Who's saying that they're going to put the effort into
To tell it accurately.
into
Yeah.
doing it the way that you want, and to
Yeah. Yeah.
satisfy you, when again we're just 13% of the population? So if
So
I
how about
ignore you
this?
for a little while and I focus on the important people, then all right, maybe that will go away. I won't feel as bad anymore. And then okay, if we decide to start in the future, that's fine. But
So I
I
I challenge you this.
mhm.
I ain't mean to cut you off, but I challenge
No,
you
no,
this. How about this? Because this is my response. I agree with the brother how he put it. This will
mhm.
be my rebuttal to it. How about we don't ask, or we don't need them to tell us our history? How about we teach ourselves our own history? How about we
I
educate
agree
our
with that.
children on our own history? How about
I
we
agree with that.
educate our own people on our own history? Because only people that can tell it right is the ones that been through it, or the people that
Mhm,
know the truth.
mhm.
So how about we don't say, yo, we need you to tell the truth about what really happened. We know the truth.
Right.
The truth is, and the truth is consistently revealing itself more and more as the years go by,
Mhm.
and it's harder and harder for those that want to keep it hidden to keep it hidden.
Yeah.
Like I said, the wall of Benin, it's known now. You know about Abu Bakari, Prince Abu Bakari. You're learning so many new things of a history that they tried to bury. You have stolen our history and you keep them in museums and try to say this is this, but we know the truth now.
Mhm.
So I say, I don't care if you stop telling the teaching history in America, about slavery and what you did. Guess what? We will educate our children and
Yeah.
teach them the truth.
Which we
Right?
should be doing
And
anyway.
that's what we should have been doing from the very
Right.
jump. And a lot of families are doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's a conversation really per
Yeah.
se that we should be harping on them about,
Exactly.
because
Thank
we
you.
are
I
responsible
agree.
for ensuring that our children and future generations
Exactly.
are aware
Exactly.
of a wall bending. Again, I don't know anything about it. I have to go
Yeah.
and educate myself.
Yeah.
I have to figure out. And that's the other thing. I have to find the joy, and we have to figure out a way to, because they say history is told by the winners.
It's told
So
by the victor. That's right. They write it how they want it.
right, right.
That's true.
If we're constantly losing, it's difficult to tell the ones who have won
Mm.
how they should be telling history.
Yeah.
So I feel that it's very important for us to ensure that we are doing everything that we can to ensure that our youth and our future generation are prepared and they have the knowledge and the history to go about to move forward in life and become the most successful human beings that they could possibly become. As far as the others that we're speaking of, because again,
Right.
we're saying we.
Right.
How do you keep us as a topic of conversation if you're saying we need to eliminate it? We don't need them to talk about it, and we don't care,
Mm.
about how they've been portraying history. There's so much work that we put in just to get to that point, so they can at least acknowledge us, so they
Right.
can say, okay, yeah, they did go through some issues. All right, I'll go see 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, I'll dedicate to this, boys group. I'll
Yeah.
I'll make sure that the homeless black veterans a house. We had to put
Mm-hmm.
in so much work to get to this point. But if we're actively doing the work for them to tear it down and say, y'all need to start over, y'all need to do it the right way,
It's
who's
foolish.
to say
Yeah. It's foolish. It's
who
foolish to do that.
who's to
It's
say
foolish to
that
want that.
that is the right way?
Yeah.
I just feel like we just have to do a better job of ensuring that progress continues to move forward.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have made progress.
Why
Again,
would you want to
we're
revert
not where we want to be. And
at all?
no, not at all.
Yeah.
Again,
Not
I
at
feel
all.
like until we get our reparations,
Yeah. I
it's
mean,
very hard to
look
stop
now.
having these
It's
conversations.
gonna be that conversation for a long
Exactly.
time. All right. Look.
But
That's
going
gonna
back
be
to
a
what
conversation.
you were saying, earlier, again, it's that whole mentality of it wasn't me. I didn't enslave, I didn't do anything, I didn't persecute anybody, so I don't feel like I should be paying for it.
Yeah.
Where we finally we finally gained some allies um along the journey.
Mm.
We finally turned a few. you know, we're trying to get about 50%, because we get about 50%. That means that once we start voting for things, at least we can get a majority saying, all right, they deserve what is due to them. I mean, this is the richest country in the world. We have so much money that we don't even know what to do with it. We'll just give it to the Department of Defense, and they could just
Give it
give
away.
it to contractors and just
Yeah.
completely throw
Take a
money out the
couple
window.
trillion.
Buy this
Do your thing.
$10,000 toilet. Buy this
Yeah.
nine
Take
hundred
take
dollar
take a
hammer.
couple trillion.
Right.
Yeah. Do
Exactly.
do whatever. We don't care. Like, we
Exactly.
don't
We're
care.
we're
Whatever.
we're hey, just 2 trillion of that. They did an estimation some years ago. Just 2 trillion of that will get us square. We're we're spending trillions and trillions of dollars on projects that make no sense, that aren't necessarily getting us anywhere. We're spending trillions of dollars on research, on
Mm.
researching other countries and what they're doing and how they're basically progressing, and we're saying, we don't want anybody progressing further than us. We're spending so much money trying to figure out how to slow down the rest of the world, so they won't catch up to us. Where in actuality, all you have to do is invest into this
And
country,
the people.
and we
Yeah.
will
And the
help
people.
uplift this country to a point where
Mm.
we don't have to worry about the competition. We don't have to worry
Mm.
about what they're doing, because we're moving so far ahead. We're progressing so fast.
You running for
It doesn't
Congress?
matter what they do.
Oh,
So,
you running for public office? That was powerful, man. You running for public office?
bro,
Shit, you
come
got my
on, man.
vote. You got my vote.
Listen, bro.
Especially when you
Listen,
when you said the invest and lift us up. That right there, that and the up, man. Look, that got me ready to.
Listen, bro.
I'm ready to get some placards. Like, man, vote at my key. I don't care what you say. He wants the
Bro,
keys to
we
your
just
heart. Let's go, people. Like, no, you're
we
right
just
though.
have
You
to
are
we just
absolutely
have
right.
to
You're
have
absolutely right.
more of a grasp on where we actually are. Like, I don't feel like we're taking the time to have the the foresight to see, okay, we are, this is who we are, this
Yeah,
is who they are, this is our goal. You know, they're telling us our goal, but we necessarily don't know where it is. But if we can get them to this point, moving forward with our goal, then you know what, there'll be a point where we can merge. And then, because one, we got to understand, all right, if this country were body parts, all right, like, for instance, we'll say, you know, I don't, let me
I want to hear this.
let me yeah, I don't want to
I
say
want to see
anything
where
that
you going with this.
get us in trouble, but
I want to see where
like,
you
for
going with this.
instance,
Let me sit up for this one. I'm ready.
if it was the stomach, for instance, it'd be, white folks, because what they seem to do for some reason, no matter how crazy it is, no matter how outlandish it is, they can sleep. This stuff, they don't, they're fine. This, they can eat and consume whatever they want. It's not bothering them. They can stomach any type of nonsense. If it were brains, we would say, okay, maybe,
don't
there's a
about to be
huge
racist.
part of the Asian community that have
Racist.
invested their time, in learning and becoming knowledgeable to the point where they are dominating, and the tech space, science field, medical field. They are,
they put the work in.
overwhelming
Salute to you.
these prestigious colleges. So, maybe if it was the brain, we would probably say, okay, some of the Asian community maybe, that, or embody that. And if it were the heart and soul, that would be us. We are the heart and soul of this country. We are the ones that make it beat. We are the ones that give it the rhythm, that circadian rhythm, to balance us out. You have to understand, again, this country is the richest country in the world, that was built on our backs, our knowledge, our strength, our melanin. Because again, there's a lot of people that can't even take the sun, bro. So, this country was built.
You're just saying this guy, the guy that made the comment. He's like, "Yep, you guys really are racist at this point now." He's going to be like, "Oh, yep, look, they're talking that black pride stuff." There they go, racist.
I mean, but we are the soul. Like, reason why we created soul music, because it was already in us. We're just expressing how we feel. We just figured out how to do it in the rhythmic style. So
it's not an accident. We're the most imitated on this planet. It's not an accident.
Absolutely. So essentially, you want this country to have a heart attack? Keep treating us the way you're treating us.
Ooh.
What,
motherfucker.
So,
do you want to have a heart attack, America?
Listen,
we're trying to
live healthy. We want this country to live a healthy, long, healthy style of life. And
speaking of,
please,
did you participate in the strike? Reverend Al Sharpton sent out that we're not supposed to purchase anything from any of these companies that supports the removal of DEI. Have you bought anything from Amazon? Have you eaten any McDonald's or anything like that?
Bro, I'm waiting on my Amazon order to come in now. I was watching. I was looking at my phone,
brother.
Bro,
nigga,
first of all, I ain't get
fuck
the
it.
memo.
I'm gonna just say it, nigga.
I ain't get the memo.
niggas is always late for shit.
I didn't know you tune into the Al Sharpton.
I mean, no, honestly, a friend of mine, a friend of mine sent me the text message, and I saw it, and I was just like, oh, I already don't do that, so it's not it's not new to me. I don't shop in any of these places. I don't eat
Amazon?
McDonald's or Burger King. I don't really. I don't. It's
For
weird.
real?
I,
How?
I I think I probably order some from Amazon maybe once out of the month. It's rare. I don't really.
Out of the month?
Yeah, I don't really utilize that stuff. I go to a store and buy it. This is weird.
Why?
I'm not supposed to do that. Why do you use your
Why do you
legs?
actually run?
That's stupid.
You actually have a conversation with the
Next
cashier?
thing you go, yeah. Next thing
Wow.
you go tell me is you actually have cash on you. Like, stupid. Like, yeah,
Wow.
I don't know. So like
Kudos
when I
to
saw the
you.
text message, I'm like, that's not shocking to me. I already
That's
don't really
really.
participate in any of these things. Doesn't matter to me, you know. But I get it. They said, it's like a freeze out today. Everyone, we should show them the power of the consumer. And you're absolutely right. We do make these people rich, and we have the power to hurt them. And it's beyond a
Hurt them
black,
how?
white, or whatever.
We're
We can hurt
talking
their
about $1 trillion company. Hurt them how?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not going to be much of a hurt, but I
Yeah,
think it's just sending. I
that's what I'm
think what they
asking.
want is a message. Yeah, they want you to send a message that if we so chose, we could shut down and not purchase anything from you. Like, but it's going to be all because people like you don't get the memo. But for real, I was not. Y'all motherfuckers are still being in the aisles of Walmart looking to buy shit. But I think what people expect to happen is if everyone is on the same accord and says we're not shopping Walmart ever again, that Walmart somehow just crumbles up and dies. Right? I think like that's what, like, just as an example, I think people think that's how it's supposed to work. But this economic wheel will not stop turning. There's no way you're
Thank
gonna
you.
stop this
So I'm
economic wheel,
trying to
people.
figure out
I I,
how
I
are you
hate to
really
dis
changing
yeah.
the
I
narrative
hate to bust your
by
yeah, I hate to
deciding that
bust
you're
your
just
bubble.
going to wait until next week to make that purchase?
Yeah. Now, if you're committing to it, I'm talking millions of people, hundreds of millions of people need to say, we're not doing this for that to
Yeah,
really matter. I mean,
exactly.
but
And
people are so lazy, so weak minded. They'll be in there next week. Actually, they'll be in there
yes,
tomorrow. You know what I'm
tomorrow.
saying? They'll be in there tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Burger King in it, McDonald's in it,
Absolutely.
whatever. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? You're in there. So I think it really doesn't mean anything. Like, I get the sentiment, but it's not. I don't
Y-
see the point.
Yeah,
It just so
I
happens
don't
that
feel
I'm
like
not
that's
already a
really
part of
orchestrating
that.
change.
Yeah, I'm just not
I
a
feel
part
like
of it
it's more
already. So
so,
it
all
didn't.
right, I'm going to get these clicks. If I say this, I'm going to get this attention, and they're going to say this, and they'll look at me at the
Right.
forefront of everything.
Yeah.
But in actuality, you're not making that big of a difference.
Yeah, I'm
I think
trying to
about
find it.
like the civil rights Montgomery boycott, for instance. This was so powerful because at that time, a huge majority the
I can't find
of the people who rode the bus happened to be people of color. So
it. Yeah.
if you're eliminating basically half of your customer base, all right, now we're talking. Now we're saying now we can
It
make a
has to
difference.
be. Yeah, it has to be something that can be felt. Like I've said it before.
Right.
The way it can be felt is if every African American, Hispanic
Mm-hmm.
player said,
Right.
"Yo, I'm not playing NBA anymore. I'm not playing NFL anymore. I'm not." You know what I mean? Then that's gonna be a gut punch,
Yeah.
right? Because the majority
Yeah.
of NFL teams and NBA teams are, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right. Right.
that's a gut punch. Like, oh,
We have
damn,
to think right.
that hurts.
Breonna Taylor. We have to think about Kenosha.
Yeah.
When Minnesota, I'm sorry, the Milwaukee Bucks, they decided they weren't playing, and they were making a stand against police brutality. We
Mm-hmm.
basically had a good portion of the league shut down. We had politicians that were actively participating, saying, "All right,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to make this stand to ensure that we're at least drawing attention to the point where we can initiate change." Again, going back to the boycott, the bus boycott, they
Yeah.
had other mechanisms in place, so they can ensure that this can continue to hurt
Right.
and affect. All right, okay, we're all gonna walk together. All right, we're gonna start carpooling. We're gonna do this system where we're picking up groups, at a time, and we're gonna take them to where they need to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
They
We're
had
gonna
other
do it
races getting
ourselves, type of
involved
thing.
as
Yeah.
well. Taking our people to work. So there was a huge outcry and mechanisms in place
That made it
so
happen. Yeah.
that can make it happen, right?
I just don't see how this really was going to do it. Me personally, like I saw it and I was like, I get what you're trying to do, but one day isn't doing anything.
Absolutely.
One
Thank you.
to me, I may
Right.
be
No,
wrong, and
I agree
if
with
I'm
you.
wrong, someone please
I
tell
agree
me.
with you.
You could put in the comments and be like, hey, now if this
Hmm.
happens for X, Y, and Z, cool. Like you look at the dock workers strike that
Hmm.
occurred a couple months back. That
Yeah.
was a detrimental thing. That hurt because
Mm,
the longer that prolonged, the harder it would be to get
that's right.
anything imported or
That's
exported.
right.
That meant something. When you're
That's right.
saying a few, maybe let's say maybe 1 million people in the country say, I'm not ordering Amazon and eating McDonald's for one day. Eh, you're not really eh,
and we have to think
like you're
about
not
the people in power. Why do
right.
they care? you know,
And do you not
why would
think?
Trump care if you don't eat McDonald's?
But watch this.
It's more
But
Big
do
Macs
you
for
not
me.
think they have? Yeah, it isn't, man. I mean, at the end of the day, no one showed up, no one came, but they're lying. It's fake news. Many
You're
people ate
right.
burgers. Many
Right.
people
You're
got
right.
nuggets.
Exactly.
Many people.
Exactly.
And in fact, it was the most people that ever came to get nuggets in history. I'm just saying. But, but my thing is this, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you say that let's not do XYZ, are you capable to go the entire way?
Mm,
Because now it's like the way you infect the change is if no one goes, and then you're not even hurting the machine because they have mechanisms in place to ensure that this doesn't happen. Because it'll be like let's say they say we're not going to shop at Walmart because of the DEI situation, and we're not going Walmart to go, TV is 50% off.
really? Oh
Damn, shit.
yeah.
I know it was damn, it's half off.
I just
That
got my taxes back
95,
too.
right? That 95. Damn, so that 95 inch though. You get what I'm saying? So
Yes,
they have mechanisms to
absolutely.
stop that at every turn. Whatever company it is, they know
Right.
this is a well oiled
Mhm,
machine. This thing will not stop.
mm.
I know you would love for it to stop, and I understand why you want it to stop. I'm all
Yeah,
for it, but I don't think that's going to work.
yeah.
I
I agree
might
with
be
you.
that idiot in the
I
back,
agree.
like,
No, I agree with
it's
you,
not
brother.
going to work, guys.
I agree
I
with you.
don't think it's going to
And
work. And
the
they start throwing fruits at me. Whatever. I
I
mean,
agree
and
with
then
you.
I'll be like, where y'all get the fruits from? Walmart?
Y'all just brought it from home, so you just walking around with a tomato in your pocket.
Yeah. Y'all ordered it from Walmart, didn't y'all? Throwing fruit at me from Walmart. Thought we were supposed to be boycotting.
They were
Good
selling for
apple.
50 cents a pound, right?
You know what I mean? Like,
I had to get it for the group. I got to save as much money as possible.
that's the thing. So but I get it. I definitely get it. I
Again,
do
as you
understand.
were saying, they have other mechanisms in place. Where are our mechanisms? That's what we got to understand. Listen, if we're going to boycott Walmart,
We have
give
to
us
have something in
something
place for that.
better. Right. Give
Yeah,
us something
I
that,
did
like,
see. I did see something on social media where they were showing different businesses that we can utilize outside of Walmart, outside of these different, like, not, and it's not just black owned, but just businesses that aren't under the machine, I guess. Like this
oh,
will
okay.
where your money will funnel back into communities. And I thought that's pretty dope. I
That
mean,
is dope.
but I think it has to be more readily available. because people still don't know about it. Like I remember when we started the show and I was joking around and I was like, "Yo, boycott Hennessy. We shouldn't be this." And I was just and people was like, "What you mean boycott Hennessy?" No, so I'm like, "What black-owned liquors I'm supposed to drink?" And I'm like, you could do De Leon. And I remember somebody wrote was like, "Yo, I never heard of these brands before." I'm like, "These are black-owned brands. Why don't you support that?" And they're like, "I never even heard of it." So we have to make the information more available.
Exactly.
If you want people to transfer the change, make it more available. That's all you got to do. Make it more available.
Let me ask you. So, are you questioning the marketing campaigns? If you're saying if we don't know about it, for instance, these De Leon, for instance, if we don't know about it, let me ask you why.
Right. I think it's not being broadcasted the way it should. It's probably not getting the same amount of energy that the other labels are being given. Maybe the corporate machine is deciding who gets more exposure.
De Leon's corporate machine?
Perhaps the corporate machine. Period. The corporate machine, period, may be deciding who gets more exposure, or maybe De Leon doesn't have enough money to grease the wheels to get that much exposure than Hennessy does, or than some other cognac does. I don't know. I can't pretend to know because I'm not a part of it, so I have no idea. But
that's the question that I'm constantly asking myself.
Right.
It's like, I want to do everything I can to support black business.
Right.
And I would love to support black businesses. If I'm comparing your product to, for instance, a product that was made by God, I hate talking about race in this instance, but a black product versus a white product.
Okay.
How can, regardless on color, how can you prove to me that your product is superior? And I need to be investing in this product,
over this product,
right, over this one,
right.
So I'm asking, again, I want to. I really strive to help us. I strive to support us the best way possible. But I'm just like, we have to do a better job of helping ourselves too. I mean, like, you can't just rely on me telling this dude up the street, "Hey, you need to support black business. Go buy this one." Like, I get that,
also, there's also that thing where we are quick to go for the name brand, and we're easy to spend $150 or $300 on a sneaker or a shirt or some jeans. But when it's black owned, and because this black person didn't promote it the way you felt it should have been promoted, or I haven't seen someone famous wearing your brand, why should I get it? Right. And then there are also those individuals that promote their products, but they don't wear their own products. So if you don't wear your own product, how can I be trusted to wear your, like, why would I want to buy your shit if you're not wearing your shit? Like this was a thing, like I look back at it now and I realize I was a part of that machine where you would see Jay-Z wear Rockaway every now and then, but he wasn't really always rocking Rockaway. How the fuck was I buying the shit? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 50 was always wearing G-Unit sneakers and he demanded that everybody on G-Unit wear G-Unit sneakers.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a brand. And
genius, though. 50 is a marketing genius.
Right. And if they don't believe in the brand, if we don't believe in the brand, so we have to believe in the brand.
Okay, you know, so going back to De Leon, how does De Leon push themselves to a level
knows?
Where we can speak on it?
Maybe you
say in the same breath as Hennessy.
Maybe perhaps you need some black faces behind it. Some popular, famous black faces. But are these black faces going to do it for the love, or are they going to do it for a check? That comes in another issue. You know what I mean? And I'm not really big on promoting the alcohol, anyways. But I'm just saying as an example.
Yeah.
But look at the amazing thing that just transpired a few days ago.
What happened?
When the Galaxy phone pods is re-released. Look at the chaos that it caused. Niggas was going crazy. Yo, I tell you right now, my own brother, he's gonna kill me for saying it, but this nigga was
Oh,
telling his baby moms, I suck your toes, I eat your ass if you get them shits for me. Like, this motherfucker niggas is real when he come to these phone posits. I got a pair,
oh
by the
man.
way. I'm just saying. But
Oh man.
yeah, mine's just coming in the mail. But what I'm saying is look at the
Oh man.
marketing that did,
Yeah.
right? Look at what the phone posits did.
Mm,
I'm just saying, you want to support black business, or you want to put some of your dollars towards black business, or Asian business, or whatever it is. Pay attention to how they are promoting their product, how they're
okay,
marketing
bro.
their product,
All right.
and
Oh
say,
yeah.
can I emulate this in some way?
Mm,
Because
yes.
how can I?
Mm,
Okay, you ever heard of Mylanny's clothing?
no. No.
Mylanny's clothing. They have clothing brand. They have sneakers that they make, luxury dress sneakers, like how you get red bottom sneakers and whatnot. He does the same thing. Never heard of it. Black
Mm,
owned. Never heard of it.
mm,
You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Never heard of it. And there are probably countless different black designers and creators that you've never heard of that have really dope product,
yeah.
because no one's behind them and they can't afford the same exact marketing strategy. And you're not supporting it because you don't want to take the chance in this brand, because I ain't really see nobody famous wear it, so why should I wear it?
Yeah.
Because we're so quick to follow what the mass is doing.
Mm.
So how
So,
can a black brand get in front? How?
so are you are you saying that our community have an issue with marketing ourselves, except the
Absolutely.
select few?
Yeah,
Like we
we
have
know
some
how to
mega ones at
market.
the top that
Yeah,
figured out how to push themselves over
market
the
or
limit.
sell.
Right,
They know
right,
how to market themselves to the masses
mm,
and the people,
right. But
but they're
majority of us, we don't.
incapable of it.
Mm, can you
And
explain
then
to
we
us
don't know
why?
how to support, and
Mm,
we don't know how to support each other.
or ask
Point
for
blank.
support?
Period. Yeah, we don't. Too prideful,
Mm,
very ignorant,
mm, mm.
and unaware. And it bothers me. You remember when I had the blue hoodie with you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and someone's like fifty
You
dollars.
said you
I
bought
didn't even,
right.
yeah, I didn't even bat that $50 is nothing, motherfucker. But because you never heard of the brand, you're like, $50 though, fam. I can't do like a 15. Like, what's up? Like, don't nobody know you yet.
Yeah, boy,
Why
yeah.
are you
A lot of
taking
people
away
haven't
from
done
that
that.
man's creation? And why are you doing that? Why are you taking from this man's creation? But a dude be like, yo, I got this motherfucking Louis V t-shirt. $80, kid. $80 for the Louis V shirt. Let me get that. You don't even hesitate. You quick to throw 80
Let me check the
cash,
tag first.
right?
Let me
A
check the
man
serial
come,
number.
yeah. Yeah, so I'm saying, son pull up and be like, yo, I got this, I got this Montclair joint, bro. Yo, I'm gonna let it go for you, you know what I'm saying? 800. You jumping on it.
Yeah,
You scan the barcode and it goes to the
right.
website. Yo, it really is a Montclair.
Yeah,
Yo, 800, I'm on it, right?
right.
Because you're getting it cheap. But
Hmm.
a man who has a jacket borderline similar design, but a different design, might have this cool, whatever it may be, instead of having, the comic strip in there, it's like a black comic strip drawn by some new artist who just created a new black anime.
Hmm.
You're like, yeah, I don't really know, ain't honey, cuz
Yeah,
like
but at the
I
same
probably do like
time,
$60, kid.
yeah, but
We quick to wheel and deal our own people.
for sure. But at the same time, we're also looking at it from perspective. All right, if I wear that to the club, will that give me the attention I'm looking for?
And there you go. There you go.
Well, yes, we have that mentality. We have,
Yeah.
I'm going to spend this $80. Where essentially
Stupid.
that $80 I can get like maybe about 4 Nike shirts. And at
Yeah.
least that, that's a name brand people recognize for that same price as your hoodie, bro. And I can't
Yeah.
even get a warranty with that. If it falls apart, where am I going? Who do I talk to? Who do I
Yeah,
take it back
I
to?
get you, but I'll support.
Yeah,
I wear, like, I
and we
went just
need that.
today. I was in the store and the dude was, I'm like, yo, I'm looking for like a different color, different color hoodies or
Mhm.
whatnot. And he was like, what name brand you looking for? And I looked at him, Dennis. I was like, I don't care, bro. I don't care about no name brand, bro. It
Yeah,
looked good. I'm rocking it.
yeah, yeah.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? And he just looked at me like, damn, like, I've gotten to a certain age where it's like that shit don't really matter to me.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah, I'm there too, bro.
you know what I'm
I'm
saying?
there
And,
too.
and I'm
Absolutely.
quite sure some of y'all probably looking like, this nigga's, look at the hoodie the nigga wearing. And he's talking shit. Listen, first off, I didn't know about this. I didn't know how much this cost until I got this for $50. First and foremost, all right,
This is dope,
son,
bro.
held me down, and I looked it up. I was like, "Holy Christ, who pays that much for a hoodie?" I was like, "Oh my God, that's a lot of money." Like, holy shit! Like, I was shocked, right? Like, I was shocked. But what I'm saying is, I don't particularly care what the brand is. It looks good. It's fire to me. It's a dope design. I'm wearing it. So if you are a clothing designer and you have something, if your joints is fire, I'm buying it. I'm
Yeah.
supporting you. I don't
Yeah,
care.
I'm a strong believer in supporting the arts,
Yeah,
especially if you're doing
I'm
something for yourself, by yourself.
yeah.
I'm a strong
Mm.
supporter of that.
You just quoted Fubu. That
Maybe
man
I
just did
did, bro.
Fubu. Didn't even realize it.
Another company that
You just
mastered
did
marketing.
Fubu. That's dope. You just did a Fubu punch that fast. That's crazy.
They
Yeah, you
mastered
just did a
marketing as
Fubu,
well. They
just
they
quick as
they were
hell.
one of the
Like,
companies that said, you know what, uh, let's figure out how to bring this to the masses. And yeah, all right, I'm
mm-hmm.
starting this. I'm starting this in my apartment, but I can get this if I can get this to the masses. If I get it, all right, look, you support me with this $80 hoodie. I can then use that to reinvest because I just need about a good 1,000 of y'all. I can reinvest and now I can get the price down to 20. So help me get to that point. We're not doing a better job in marketing our products. I feel like there's such an incentive when it comes to being black.
Mm,
We focus too much on survival and the dollar versus longevity and
mm.
building generational wealth and creating a product that people could see as an investment. Because
Yeah,
some people look at clothing and it's just like, I just need something to wear. And there's other people that look at clothing and say, you know what? If I get that, I won't necessarily. All right, yeah, I spent $100 on that, but I don't feel like I wasted $100 because whatever I do or whatever value I get from wearing that, I know that hundreds of dollars is worth it. So
yeah,
we have to do a better job and figuring out how to apply value to a product. We have to think long term. We can't just be looking at this
yes,
moment of just,
yeah.
all
I
right, let me
agree.
just do this. Let me get this money here. I can pay this rent. And just like, no, all right, listen, when it comes
Yeah,
to
we gotta
building
think bigger.
and making a product, exactly. You have to think bigger.
We
You
gotta
have to
think
think
bigger. We
long
gotta think
term.
bigger.
If you're talking
Yeah,
about somebody, if you're just doing it for the purpose of survival, announce it. Just put it out there. Hey, support me because I'm trying to live. I gotta pay rent. I need some food, so I'm just
cool.
selling shirts. I get that, bro. I get
Yeah,
that.
that way you don't gotta go rob nobody. I'm all for it, bro. Like,
Right.
yeah, I'm all for it. I'll support you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I said I was having this conversation. Like, it's a true statement, man. It's harder for certain people to really make things happen. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? It's not as easy. Um, some people are inclined and blessed enough with that savvy and that charisma that they can make it happen. Some
yeah.
people have social anxiety and they're incapable of doing that. They can't be around a group of people and
Yeah.
engage in a conversation and try to sell what they're selling because they're socially awkward. Not everybody can make, you know, hundreds of dollars just taking pictures of their feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody could do that. You know what I'm saying? A dude can't do that. A dude can't take pictures of his feet and think they're gonna sell. It's not gonna happen, bro. It's not gonna happen. You gotta find another route. You know what I'm saying? Them coins you got in bunions is not gonna shake, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've
But
never had a
there's an
pedicure in your
audience for
life.
everyone and everything.
Yeah, but you've never had a
There's
pedicure a
some
day in your
people
life.
who
I don't think it's
love
gonna
them
happen.
corn toes.
Yeah, somebody wants to see Sasquatch feet. I don't know. But I mean, but as a people, if you're like, yo, support black business, it starts small. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Like, it starts small. Like I said, the brother that I was speaking to, Abdul, I anytime I want something, I usually go to him first.
yeah.
Like I actually go to his store first
Yeah.
before I go anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be like, yo, you got just anything. I'm like, yo, man, I'm trying to get this, and the third bag. Nah, I don't got it. I ran out like, I'll try to spend my money with you first,
Yeah,
bro. And
bro.
then he'll
Oh
be
my
like,
God, man.
nah, why don't you go
Yo,
here? And he'll send me to the Asian
oh
lady
man,
down the
you
street,
hitting
and
it,
I'll
bro.
go over to her.
Yeah, right.
Show love to her too. She's like, yo, good looking out, like you always. Like I got you.
You
I mean,
always my first stop. Right?
Yeah, pull up at the Spanish spot. Yo, what up? I got you too.
Yeah.
Like that's the type of vibe I'm on. I'm all about. So people be like, oh, you ain't about black. I'm about the business. I'm about people who are just like me, trying to make it happen.
There you
So
go.
I'm going to support you.
There
You know what I'm
you
saying?
go.
I don't care if you Spanish, you whatever. I'm gonna show you love. You Asian, oh, you gonna go over the Chinese people before me? Yes, I'm gonna show them love too, because they've been through shit as well. I'm gonna show them love too, bro. What's wrong with you? Like I'm not mad at them. You want me to be divisive, but I'm not going to be. The only people I'm going to be divisive to a point are the people that hate me.
You know what I also hear you saying is you respect the fact that a business respects their consumer. And
That's it.
again, you you brought
If
up a
you hate
very
me, I'm not
interesting
going to be a
point,
part
bro.
of it. But you respect me, I'm there.
Right. You
You
brought
got
up a
my
very
dollar
interesting.
if you respect me.
Why? How come we always run us? Like why don't we have the foresight to see? Okay, people love this. People love oxtails. I don't understand why I can't go into a Caribbean restaurant and get oxtails,
Go
bro.
and get oxtails.
Why are y'all constantly, no matter which one I go
Oxtail
to?
might not be real, yo. I don't know. I ain't never seen an oxen before. Now I think about it.
But yeah,
Cat
you
Williams
brought up
was
a
on to
very
something.
interesting point, man. It's understanding the consumer, having the foresight to say, all right, I am a business. All right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to ensure that I grow my customer base. To grow my customer base, I need to provide exactly what my customers need, and I need to make sure it's available.
It's not hard. It's not hard.
It's not hard, bro.
Then again, I am not a business owner, so I can't talk too much. I do understand the stress, because I mean, prime example, the show. We are trying to provide content that people want to consume, that people will be entertained by, and we miss the mark sometimes. We hit the mark sometimes. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? It is not as easy as it sounds. But once you hit that niche and you find that sweet spot, it's off to the races with it, right?
That's right.
So
That's right.
I think, but the only way it's going to happen is if you support them. You got to support them.
Woo!
You got to support the growth.
Bro, I feel like that's leading to a quote.
Yep. So by saying that, thank you all 83 subscribers. We really appreciate you. We appreciate you guys. Want to thank Dr. Cutreal Phillips for coming out, man. Appreciate him showing up once again, give him some insight. Hope we can get him back, and we could really give you, get some more in-depth content from him. But grab me my beautiful shot. Yes, let me get my beautiful shot. I will only say this. Some people say the sky's the limit. The only reason why they say that is that's as far as they've ever aimed. Aim higher. Dang. Salute.
Whew. Salute. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Aim for the stars, people. Aim for the stars.
That's it.
There's more world out there
galaxy
than the sky.
Let's go.
That was deep, bro.
Yeah.
That was really deep. Another amazing episode of Banter and Bullshit. I'm Mr. Keys Open Doors.
And I am Trinidad and Tobago's son, New York City's nephew, called a YOUNG.
Again, remember to like and subscribe, people.
Please, like and subscribe.
We try to get our followers
with the
up.
comments. Yes, we will respond to your comments. Be respectful, okay? Because we are always respectful. Yeah. We respect you. We appreciate you.
We're trying to grow together. Lovers or haters, we're trying to grow together.
Love is love, man.
We need the balance.
That's it. We need you guys.
Absolutely.
And that's it. Go home. Go do whatever you got to go do.
I love y'all.
Shoot.
See y'all next week.
Yeah. Goodbye. Get out of here. We don't need you here anymore.